Yuriko, where are you? Yuriko, you said that you would tell us the truth when we figured everything's out. When we survived the loop, Yuriko, come out.
Do not make me pull you out of that cold sleep, man, and Batista bomb you.
What's good, anime enthusiasts? Hope y'all having a swell day, and I hope all of you Gnosia game heads are on, doing okay off of life support. How y'all doing? I know y'all had it rough a little bit last episode, but I know you're reeling from this episode. I'm feeling sorry for you as an anime only, but I just want to say I kind of called that last episode review by saying, what would happen if the anime just went off on its own and did its own little thing, broke the rules of the game, and it definitely did. Hey, JD, you still doing good? You still breathing?
Hey, bro, I just got out of the hospital like maybe 2 hours before we came to record this. I had a heart attack the second I saw all this stuff occur, but somewhere deep in the back of my mind, I heard the glorious words of our queen and savior, Yuriko, who told us in episode 14, 534, knowing the truth is no simple matter. You need the capability to identify it, the open-mindedness to accept it, and the mental strength to withstand it. And today I stand before you to say, peak has arrived.
I don't know about that, because pulling out my little handy dandy sheet that I so graciously kept going with this, I think Yuri just made the Hail Mary play and it just worked out. Because guess what, people? We broke the rules again, a lot, so much. And that's why we said I'm sorry for you game heads, because nothing will work for you possibly anymore in this loop and possibly the other ones afterwards. So let's go along for the ride off these rails.
I swear, if we had the power of Yuri, anime Yuri in the game, we would never have any issues. I'm kind of jealous of Yuri at this point.
This is Yuri on debug mode, doing whatever he wants to do.
Yes, sir. Actually bug testing.
But I mean, this episode is mainly just the game, the werewolf game. And quite unfortunately, you really do, we really needed to actually just break the rules in order to figure out. Because if you were still constrained to the game rules and the game logic, everybody would have lost. Everybody would have lost. And that's why Racio's so great. Anyway.
We're going to have a lot to say about good old Racio this episode.
Yo, how do you get, like, quote unquote defeated yet still have so much impact over the game?
Oh god. And this is werewolf players, Blood on the Clock Tower players, anybody who speaks would want to have this level of, like, not competency, but like securedness in their gameplay, right? To both be able to like self-sacrifice for like a team win, and to also be able to set that up in the first place, to have the like mental know-how to get there. Absurd.
Racio is the Godfather and everybody else to the Mafioso, and the Mafioso are so glad that the Godfather got that, because the Godfather did everything possible to make sure that you would win, and all you had to do was just stick to the plan and be chill, and you would win.
Agreed, man. Agreed.
So, how did we get here, people? How did we get here to Racio being essentially the number one character in this anime? Well, the episode begins back off the legs of episode 14, to where Yuri declares Racio as Gnosia. But it's now time for Jonas to report. Jonas reports Yuri as human. Interesting. So, okay, pausing here right now. The rest of this episode is basically gameplay. There's not really much to comment on except for the gameplay itself. There's very little story happening. So we're going to be paraphrasing a lot. We'll comment on the gameplay. That's pretty much it. So when Jonas declares Yuri as human, now a lot of suspicion is being thrown on Jonas, because he might be Gnosia. Because remember, Jonas is also the engineer, and if the engineer claims someone else who is also engineer as human, then of course Yuri is human. However, Jonas flips it by saying, hey, I'm the real engineer, Yuri is the AC follower. And this is the first time anyone out of the whole entire crew mentions AC follower to anybody else in the crew. And it seems that everyone else knows about the AC follower. And even Setsu is like surprised that one snuck on board. So it's a whole another can of worms to like open up for like an outside story kind of thing on how a quote unquote AC follower, who is one of the crew members on this crew, got onto the ship. I assume that, you can be an AC follower and be very secretive, because who would really know? Hey, do you worship the Gnosia? No? Okay, dude, let's go. You come on in. That kind of sort of thing.
No, definitely. AC follower specifically from the game. AC follower is one of those things where it's like that cult-like mentality. I know we mentioned this a few episodes back. What I think is interesting specifically about how the anime works AC follower into the plot is that they're a hidden role here, right? Normally they're declared out in the game, usually for like balance purposes. So you could go your whole life and have that AC follower sympathy towards Gnosia and just be like very hidden about it. And I think that's way more realistic and also way more fun to watch on our side.
Mm-hmm. And of course, all the other characters gonna give their little tidbits about the AC follower, but it's pretty Not so much as like it's kind of mid, but more like, okay, they know about it, like in the universe, so it's nothing special to them. But they could talk more about, the whole situation at hand. Setsu even lightly agrees that there's no telling if Jonas is telling the truth or not. But because Jonas named Setsu as human in one of the previous days, then Setsu's sort of inclined to agree with Jonas. That makes sense. But then here comes the GOAT, Racio, calling into question Yuri's actions. Because Racio is a doctor. And if Racio is the Gnosia, why would Racio throw Comet underneath the bus? Why would Racio call Comet a Gnosia while Racio's being the doctor, doing the doctor report? And because everybody, even the engineers, have locked on to Comet as the Gnosia. So by pure game logic, and by logic that everybody knows, why would the Gnosia vote for one of their own? Why would the Gnosia try to kill one of their own? That makes sense in a game logic. However, we have already slowly started to erode the rules. Nothing will no longer make sense in the game logic. Stick with us. Stick with us. I know you're hurting right now, but hey, stick with us. You'll be good. Maybe.
After your hospital visit, of course.
You're gonna need a lot of therapy.
Anyway, like you said, Racio has a very good case for being like confirmed human, because an erroneous report from Yuri paints a lot of suspicion on them. With Jonas confirming them to be human, the AC follower claims are almost confirmed, because logically, why would Racio vote out another Gnosia, right? And this divisiveness goes really crazy in the vote, because what's it, like 5-5? Like split?
Mm-hmm. And how we really get there is that Yuri makes a nice attempt to try to not appeal. Yeah, kind of appeal. Also saying, okay, if I am the AC follower, if I am still human. The AC follower is still human. And what we need to do is take out the Gnosia. So even though the AC follower is throwing chaos, it wouldn't do everybody good to take out a fellow human, even if I quote unquote change sides, right? So if you take a day off to take care of the saboteur role in like in other social deduction games, you are still losing a day to the evil side, which is a good idea, but it doesn't really refute Racio's claims. And what really seals the deal, or really helps out Yuri, is that Kakrusha comes out as guardian angel, saying that she protected Yuri this last night, to make sure that he wouldn't die. Then Setsu compounds that, helping out as well. which gets us to the split vote 5-5 on 5 on Yuri, 5 on Racio, which is amazing. Now, I need to ask you, JD, what happens with a split vote in the game? Or can a split vote happen in the game?
A split vote can and usually does happen in game. Especially on day one, you're very likely to have ties of up to 3 or 4 people if there's no consensus target. And as shown here, the decision becomes, do we revote? Do we choose to freeze everybody who's under suspicion, or do we choose to freeze nobody, right? And in this case, I don't know what the best vote is.
Hold on,
Personally, if I'm
JD.
Yuri, I'm revote.
Hold on, JD. What happens in the game when you get a split vote?
Oh, you're forced to revote no matter what until you fail the next vote.
Ah, okay. So do you get a chance to do anything before the revote?
Oh yeah, you get to talk a little bit.
Okay. We get the revote. Tell me why Yuri pulls a Sha Ming, gets the revote, and then wins. All because Sha Ming was like, hey bro, I like what you did, man. I like to cut your jib.
Bro, I love it. My boy Shaman is just like, I've never seen someone grovel so perfectly in my life.
I'm rolling.
And when Yuri went down, I started screaming, bro, like, are you serious, Yuri?
When I saw him do the bend forward and pull back, I was like, there's no way he's pulling a Sha Ming. And he started groveling. I was like, oh my god, there's no way. I was like, and there was, I forget who, but in one of the early, I think it was in the episode that Sha Ming did the groveling, and somebody explain that, hey, this is a skill that Sha Ming does and that you can learn it. And then here it is. Yuri learned the groveling.
Bro. Like student, like master, bro.
I swear to God. But yeah, Yuri grovels. They get the revote. Racio gets pulled in the cold sleep. Thank you, Sha Ming, for, I guess, liking the show.
Bro, if I'm Racio, I'm killing everybody.
For real.
I don't care if this ship explodes, bro. I'm going straight Gnosia on everybody.
But Racio does get a few last words, as Yuri is attempting to like, hey Racio, I kind of know your master plan, and goes through the days. And Racio's like, yeah, you know, I thought you were like mediocre, but you still got a little bit of intelligence. But isn't it a little bit too obvious? You're still falling into my trap. And Yuri's kind of like, huh? And Yuri goes back to his room, and we get a sequence / montage of him like just checking everything that has happened so far. The new information that he got from Racio being that, okay, he must have missed something. He even checks for voting results. And what it boils down to, that he lands on 3 suspects. He lands on Chippy, Jonas, and Remnant. Now, here's the thing, folks. I made a Discord post to JD saying what I thought would be the end result. And everything was correct so far. But my main thing as who is the third Gnosia was Setsu. Setsu is not on this list. But in a previous thought, I had Chippy on my possibly Gnosia list, which sort of makes sense, right? Because Sha Ming switched the vote, can't really get him. Stella is Stella. So, and we have Chippy and Setsu as the other 2 possible third Gnosia, which makes sense. This little Remnan deal, you don't really understand at first, because Remnan's the doctor. He claimed doctor, and Racio is a Gnosia that we know because we checked Racio. So why are we suspecting Remnan? This is unfortunately a hint to what will transpire later. You got any thoughts, JD?
Let's rewind back to the talk that Racio and Yuri had inside the cold sleep chamber.
Go ahead.
Right? It's so completely like Racio to not only insult you before he goes into cold sleep, but to also reveal a lot about how you're already screwed before going into the coffin for himself, right? He confirms, you're cooked. He goes through, he explains everything and tries to get you to doubt yourself. And I think as a person, as me, the game player, I would have never listened to a single thing Racio said in that moment. Because obviously he's just trying to throw me off my game, right? There's nothing here to like examine, right? But I do like that Racio was willing to put that information forward, just out of pure assurance that he knew there was no way Yuri could possibly ever figure this out. And it slaps me in the face rewatching it because I didn't figure it out until it came out too, right? Oh, and the other thing, even before that, when Yuri was doing his explanation for why he logically shouldn't be AC follower for bringing up the reason why he's human, so he shouldn't get rid of like him instead of like other Gnosia. I did like that Yuri sort of not failed explicitly, but didn't make a lot of headway there because fighting logic with Racio is just a horrible moving or losing move, right? And that sort of carries over. I thought that was really fun to watch, just like Yuri sort of luck his way into winning that cold sleep duel, and that it continues off of this with the logic dive later.
Because warp happens, nobody screams. Well, we hear the little effects, but nobody screams. So you know who got eliminated. But even before we get into the meeting, Yuri checked Chippy, and Chippy is human. Something's odd here. And Yuri starts to, question things. And we do get to the meeting, and we confirm, yeah, Kakusha got eliminated. We get some reports. Remnan, as a doctor, confirms Racio as Gnosia. Ooh, makes sense. And so now Yuri is still trying to figure out what is Jonas and what else is Remnan. And then Jonas checks Remnan as the engineer and says, Remnan is Gnosia. Huh. So Yuri immediately doesn't give his report. He's in his head. He's going to mental processes. He's trying to figure things out. Okay, what is Jonas playing at? What is this AC follower doing? Why are we settling Remnan is Gnosia? Is this planned to the put to where we're now putting suspicion on Jonas and Remnan? And because Jonas chose Remnan as the Gnosia, but we already know Remnan is confirmed human because we put, quote unquote, confirmed human because we put Racio the Gnosia into cold sleep. Therefore, Jonas is lying. Jonas, you're an idiot. Jonas, you put in the cold sleep. That makes sense, right? And the Yuri's like, Racio, you probably thought that out. You're probably like 1, 2, maybe 3 steps ahead. What are you playing at? What's the angle? And then Yuri thinks about Gina, then Remnant. And then Yuri has a hunch and he's gonna go for it. Now, before I reveal the absolute lunacy circus that is about to happen, you got anything you want to say before I do that, JD?
Okay, there's a lot happening, right? I think some of the logic for why, no, I shouldn't say that. Yuri's decision on like narrowing down who he wants to investigate at night is absolutely the whole goal of like these neutral, quote unquote, neutral evil roles, right? Where it's like you can't really be sure of anything. I remember I had extreme doubts about Kurkrushka last time we reviewed episode 14, right? Because you really can't confirm Guardian Angel most of the time. It ended up being confirmed, right, through the meeting with nobody getting like killed off. But there's just so much room for doubt. And even like the explanations in meetings, even with the Yuri logic dive, where we know he's like super logical and tends to have perfect information, either for plot wise or because they do have the right information, right? You can't even really trust those, right? Because they're never confirmed. So this next part absolutely blew my mind, bro. This sent me to the hospital.
Yuri, the engineer, reports that Chippy... Oh, wait, I'm sorry. We're gonna lie. We did investigate Chippy. But why would we do that, right? Why would we follow the game and logic? This is the anime. Yuri reports Remnant is Gnosia.
I was flabbergasted. I couldn't breathe. I fell and didn't wake up for 5 hours.
You guys want to know why Remnant, you see, Yuri chose Remnant as Gnosia, lying about his report? This is his hunch. This is his Hail Mary play. What it boils down to exactly is that Gina was the actual real doctor, and that the Gnosia got lucky on day 2 to kill Gina. And because both Otome and Yuriko were confirmed human, there was no real reason for the doctors to come out and say anything and claim their roles. It would be dumb. That would be like putting a target on themselves. So they had to wait. When the Gnosia luckily killed Gina on day 3 during the meeting, they killed Gina on day 2. So on day 3 during the meeting, Remnan comes out as doctor, but also Racio comes out as doctor. But why would 2 doctors come out? You're probably thinking, okay, if Yuri is true in saying Remnan is Gnosia and Racio's Gnosia, why would 2 Gnosia roles claim the same one, like, good role? Well, here's how Yuri kind of caught that, sort of quotely. I don't know how. I can't believe Yuri said that. Let's play back the tapes. We see Remnan hurled over in the corner, slowly raises his hand and says, I didn't come out. And the Yuri says, Remnan, you hesitated. I'm sorry. The one guy that is so, like, recluse and, like, shy hesitated in a tense situation. I'm sorry. I guess that wasn't, like, part of his code of nature. I get you. That's okay. That's okay. With that out of the way, because now that we have 2 Gnosia claiming the same roles, Raquel had a very nice trap set up to have, Remnan be the doctor. And now that the Gnosia can just do whatever they want with these 2 roles, Raquel has this nice domino set up to where when Jonas gets eliminated, if Raquel goes out, Remnan is still quote unquote cleared as human, and nobody touches Remnan. All Remnan needs to do is just make the right doctor calls and he's good to go. And because
it's impossible to not make the right doctor call, bro. I was saying it last episode, like, Gnosia claiming doctor, they don't have to do anything. They already have the right answers, bro. Nobody's gonna catch them lying.
Exactly. And with Kakrusha out of the question, there's nobody can be saved. So we're all, chilling while everybody's pointing fingers at each other for no reason. So it was almost 100% like the Gnosia win. But Yuri made the Hail Mary call thanks to, Raquel saying, "You've already fallen into my trap," which gave him that all of that, logical pull through with a very simple lie that he did not report his true findings. And I feel bad for Remnan because he had the win in the bag, and you just see Remnan's just like horrified face of saying, "Yuri, there's no way you're saying that, right?" Like, doesn't that make you like Gnosia as well? And Yuri's like, no. And even Setsu like confirms it. It's like, because Jonas and Yuri came out as engineer on day 2, it's guaranteed that Yuri's just safe. So nothing works for Remnan. And Yuri's logic and follow through was so good, Remnan gets put in a cold sleep. And when he does, Remnan reveals his Gnosia eyes. I'm sorry.
Bro. Yo, pause. You're telling me Racio was so good at the game, so convincing, so, like, incredible to set this up that they even confused Jonas, right? The AC follower, into setting up my poor boy Remnan into being fully checkmated by Hail Mary Yuri.
And even Yuri said, I was fooled as well. And you know the most devious thing that Yuri did? When Remnan got put in when Remnan went into the cold sleep chamber, he was like, I forgot what he said, but it was like related to, even though you were fooled, like, why did you make the report? And Yuri said, even humans can lie sometimes. I'm like, Yuri, stop. You can't do this. Stop mocking him. Get out of here.
Bro, king shit, king shit, king shit. Bow down to King Yuri, bro. Oh my god. And the fact that you can't see his eyes while he's saying it, and the twisted smile. Oh my gosh, Yuri. Remnan looks so sad when he figures it out.
That's
When Yuri just reveals it was bullshit. It was plot armor, Remnan.
that's the main character difference. I'm sorry, Remnan. I'm sorry that you got. It's okay, man. We can go next. Oh, speaking of going next, by the way. Hey, we won. It's the green light. Everybody's happy. Yuri turns around, looks at Setsu. Everything's fine. Oh yeah. At the beginning of the loop, Yuriko said that she would, tell us the truth. So hey, Yuriko, come out of that cold sleep bin. What are these Gnosia particles doing? Hey, Yuriko, come out of that cold sleep bin, right? Hey, Yuriko. Oh, we're fading to black. Yuriko. Of course, we get the days like rewinding back all the way up to day one. It's not the usual loop back. Yuri wakes up and we get the indie credits. Yuriko, where are you? Yuriko, you said that you would tell us the truth when we figured everything's out. When we survived the loop, Yuriko, come out.
Do not make me pull you out of that cold sleep, man, and Batista bomb you.
Come out.
I'm not gonna lie, I was so wrapped up in the spectacle and pure like mental adrenaline of the loop that I completely forgot about Yuriko. I did. I was just like sitting in my chair recovering from this heart attack, right? And it was only this morning when someone told me Yuriko didn't show up that I remembered, oh wait, that was supposed to happen, huh?
What a fake out, I guess. I don't know.
Soren, you know what I'm gonna ask, brother. Rate it.
Man, I told you, man, I don't normally rate these episodes. I rate the entire thing. 7, I guess.
Bro, be so for real, bro. A 7?
Yeah.
Is that a 7 out of 6?
7 out of 10.
Damn. Cold world.
Yuriko, come out to play. Yuriko.
You know what, low-key, now that you mention it, not having Yuriko in any episode is a sin against humanity, so we're gonna have to put this down at like a 6 out of 10, low-key.
It's like, you told us we completed your challenge. Now get over here. That's all, really.
Nah, jokes aside, for me at least, bro, this is a 10 out of 10 episode. In conjunction with 14, I think it really picks up all of the slack and all the issues I had with 14 and really makes like a solid package. I think the next episode will ultimately change that a little bit, depending on what feature exactly is causing that difference in looping. Because if they're going back in time in the same loop, that would be absurd and like perfect, right? But if it's going to a new loop entirely, then it's like,
Well,
kind of another bummer ending.
That's the problem, man, because our normal ending loop thing is that, we get the whole computer typing, we see all the symbols and whatnot, and then Yuri wakes up. But now we're getting day 5, day 4, day 3, day 2, day 1, and then we wake up. So not only did we break the games of the rule, we're also breaking the rules of the universe.
Yo, that sounds beastly, actually. I love that.
I don't know.
I say.
I don't know. So, which then kind of has me at the point. If we do loop back, how does Yuriko know that we completed a challenge? Because we could just easily lie and say, hey, Yuriko, I completed it. Is Yuriko gonna be knowledgeable enough to know that we did or didn't?
Yo, and this is slightly off topic, not really off topic, but you know how you'll like go up against a super hard boss, right? And you'll like use your items in the fight, but ultimately not win. So you like save scum, load back to try and run it back without losing any resources. What if it's like that? And Yuri just has to like speed run that shit, you know what I mean?
My main problem really is, how would Yuriko know? That's my main issue. Because now we're getting into the point to where Setsu, be a good girl, stay over there.
Whoa.
Holy
Whoa.
God. See, I am not a man. I am not a woman. Setsu, stay over there. We'll get back to you later. Yuriko, how? How do you know these things? How omnipotent are you? Like, where is your cap? Where is your ceiling? I need to know. Like, that's where I am at this point. And I don't think I can get a good satisfying answer out of it.
Can you?
So I think where most of my things are, I don't know if I said it before. I keep thinking I said it before because I keep thinking about it. If Yuriko had, we don't know if Yuriko is, as an anime guy, and I don't know if you can like, I guess confirm this as a game guy or if you feel this way. How we know that Yuriko is a shrine maiden. Full stop. We know that. We know that her ship, the Hoshibune, knows about cyberization. Cyberization is linked to Gnos, whatever it is. Gnos infects people to become Gnosia, which the Gnosia have the ability to cyberize people somehow. The Shrine Maidens of the Hoshibune also know how to cyberize people for whatever reason. There's a religion behind it, there's a cult behind it. Yuriko also knows about a quote-unquote distortion, that Yuri is a distortion and things happen around Yuri. She also knows that Yuri is like doing something in order to get the truth. And during this loop, Yuriko kind of has the saying like, hey, okay, you're really looking for this truth? Do this challenge for me. Hey, I know about this AC follower who knows about who are worshippers of Gnos and Gnosia. If you do this challenge, I'll reveal the truth to you. Yuriko knows the truth, whatever it is. I don't know if it's like a big grand truth about Gnos and Gnosia and cyberization and the whole shrine mating thing, or it might be some kind of small truth saying that, hey, Yuri, my favorite food is spaghetti. That's what you need, right? Or maybe Yuriko knows about the silver key. Maybe the silver key is connected to her shrine mating people, Gnosia and Gnosia, who really knows? Like, there's a lot of questions, abstractness around it about Yuriko that I don't know if I get a satisfying answer unless it's like weaved together fully. Like, there's a lot that needs to be explained, but I don't know if Yuriko is the only person that can, one of the only two people can really explain it. Setsu can, but Setsu's off doing their own thing. I don't know if Yuriko can give us the answer. Also, Yuriko, Setsu, do they also like collude with each other, or do they talk to each other about it? That's also another thing.
Yeah, man, it's a lot, right? And I think even since as early as episode 3, when Yuriko is first introduced, right, and Yuri is like snooping on the Hoshibun records and stuff like that, she's always sort of placed herself in this like important plot position, because outside of her and like any Loops Gnosia who do have that information about like Gnos and what Gnosia are, even if they're like fledgling or very new, like Gina was in that one loop, right? Yuriko has always been sort of like planted as a, what's the word for it? Not an idol, but
Observer?
like a distant, yeah, like a distant observer, right? Like she understands like a lot of things, and what's the word for it? How do I say this?
I guess my next thing also, one of these last few things that I keep thinking about. I don't know if I can believe that each and every instance of Yuriko in every loop knows what's going on. Maybe, I just don't know.
No, and that's totally fair. She'd be the only character in I guess besides Yuri and Setsu, who could do that, right? For reasons unknown. I think it's the chase for Yuriko is probably going to be more fun for most people than actually like getting the information from Yuriko, because she's so unknown, you know what I mean?
Yuri, I just need you to like put handcuffs on her so like we can get and like interrogate her everything. Don't let her escape.
Okay, bro, can anybody go up against base Yuriko?
I can. She can't
Forget
fight.
Gnosia,
She's a
Yuriko.
shrine maiden. I could fight her 1v1.
Hey, bro, you never know, bro. You might pull up with like a baseball bat and she'll be like, go nose and you just disappear from existence.
Bro, she is not
Won't
a
even be
Jedi.
Gnosia,
She did not force push Yuri. She just like flipped her hands and Yuri went like, oh my god, and just fell. Right?
I mean, you saw what Yuri felt, and you saw how people reacted to Yuri afterwards too.
Bro, I'm just
I
gonna be
don't know,
hiding around the corner. Yuriko's gonna turn that corner. I'm gonna tackle her. I'm like, but you didn't predict that. That's the easiest way. I know where you sleep.
Oh, you know, I think this goes along with something I said way earlier when we started reviewing. Is that I wanted to see like not what happened on Liu An, right? I particularly want to see people throwing hands and like shooting like laser guns, and that was just like a really off wish, right? Like bonus scenes, whatever, right? But I want to have like a tier list of who can throw hands on this shit. I feel like that's important for my viewing enjoyment.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I got nothing else on this episode, man. It's just, a full werewolf game. Yuriko didn't show up as she said she should have, but hopefully next episode we can get somewhere going.
No, next episode is gonna be another banger, straight banger, just like this one. Can't wait for it, honestly.
But for all of you all watching that are still here, let us know in the comments below what y'all think about this whole last 2 days of getting this game out. Were you also surprised that we went off the rails, avoided all game logic, and just did our own realistic thing? Sort of, kind of, Hail Mary hunch? Or do y'all believe that Racio is the GOAT? And if you don't, the airlock is over there. And hopefully, I don't know, what do y'all think about Yuriko not showing up? I mean, there's a lot to say about this episode. And especially, it's also connected to the previous episode because both of them link together so seamlessly well. Who really knows what's going to happen next? But if nothing else, I hope all of you have a good day, night, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. And I hope your day is just a little bit better than it already is. Especially this episode. With that, we'll catch y'all in the next episode. Peace.
Pray to Yuriko.
Yuriko!
Get over here.